Welcome to Trickz. Previously we talked about turn curve in Lightroom. So now you have some knowledge about turn curve and what is the exact scenario you can use your turn curve for showcase your image for your audience. So today we're gonna talk about a little similar thing, similar techniques like tone curve, that is split tone. Split tone is in effect section in your Lightroom Mobile. It's the idea behind the split tone. The split tone is more similar doing comparing with the turn curve, but you can use this adjustment more easier than tone curve. In the split tone, basically you add a certain color to your highlights and the shadow, and also you can balance those parameters inside the split tone. From this video, we're gonna talk about with the sample image how we're gonna use split tone to your perfect picture. So this is the picture that I took to discuss about the split tone. So let's go to split tone panel. So you can see there is a two color line with highlights and shadows. So let's discuss what are those. So when you pointing your pointer to each the highlights color line, you can see the sky part of the picture having different colors with the color line that I tapping on the highlights menu. So you can see in one particular hue area, when I change in the saturation, the intensity of the color will be increased. When the saturation goes down like this, intensity decrease. So let's go to the green color, and saturation goes up, goes down. And let's go to the blue, saturation goes up, goes down. So you can notice that what are the parameters that it took to point this location. Y-axis is going to the saturation and the x-axis is the hue. So you saw that the highlights part, more bright part of the picture, have new tone with according to this highlight split tone color. Let's go to the shadows as well. Same as when I'm changing my hue, that's mean my tonal color. More darker parts in this picture is changing accordingly with my tapping in the color line. You can see those mountain areas, far mountain areas, having various colors with my fingertip. And when I stick to one color, one hue point, and when I increasing my saturation level, you can see the intensity goes up and intensity goes down. Same for the green, intensity goes up, goes down. You can see there is no any change in the sky part. There's a little bit slight changes in darker clouds, but not the highlighter clouds. When I go to the blue as well, you can see the changes. You can see the parts. What are the actual parts for the shadows, and what are the actual parts for the highlights as well. So we discussed, this is the basic that I took. So let's see, I fixed highlights. I love to go to the highlights with the yellow color, and I love to go to the shadows with the blue. So you can see that there is a blue and the yellow are in the highlights part, and the blue parts are in the more dark areas. but I don't like to increase my saturation level, then it will screw this picture. So what is this balance slider? Let's see. Okay, so when I'm tapping towards minus sides, those blue areas going far more bluer. When I go to the positive side, the yellowish cloud areas having more yellow. So, but there is no any blue mountain areas. So now, so you can see this is clearly you stepping between the highlights and the shadows. When you go to minus side, your shadows areas tonal range will increase accordingly, and when you go to the positive sides, your highlights areas goes increase with the tonal range that you applied. So this is a basic that I took to start with the split tone. So let's compare with the unedited one, how the split tone affects to this photo only for the few adjustments. So now the picture is in the very cold mode compared with the previous mode. So I put some cold tone to the picture only using the split tone now. So let's discuss with the more examples. So I'm going to do the changes for this photo. So I done the every other modification apart from the split tone. So now I'm going to doing my split toning. So usually I like to go with the highlights with the bright colors and the shadow with the dark colors. So there's a rule of thumb: if you choose highlights for the like yellow, you have to use shadows like blue, because yellow's opposite side is blue. So more oftenly you have to use highlights and the shadows with the combination of the opposite sides of the colors. So when you use yellow, you have to use blue for the shadows. When you use green for the highlights, you have to use magenta for the shadows. And when you have to use aqua for some highlights, you have to go with the red for the shadow. So that's a kind of a rule of thumb photo editors usually use, but don't need to stick with that. You can use your own methodology, but if you use this methodology, it will be easy to understand the photo and easy to edit with the color combination. So now I have to use some good color combination. So let's go with yellow and blue color and see the tone how is effects. So I just usually use like saturation level like 20, because if I use above that, the photo will ruin. So if I want to check the how these color combinations goes this image, I have to use each hue with the saturation like 20 to 30. So this is a color combination for the yellow and the blue, you can see. And let's go for the green and the magenta. So green and the magenta colors like this, and let's check with the aqua color. So aqua for the highlights and the shadows for the red. So for the three color combination that I use when I do the changes, and when I grab the changes, you can see there is a good outlook when using the aqua with the red here. So let's compare with the original one. You can see there is a good color combination in this picture right now. So let's balance with the balance slider. So the shadows increasing now and highlights increasing now. So I need to prefer both highlights and shadows in the picture. I would like to prefer this color -4 for the balance, so you have to change it and see the combination with your picture and decide whether it's enough or not. So I would like to go with this balancing. So previous one, this one, previous one with this one. So you can see I add aqua for the highlights because of the waterfall that I have, and rocks parts, why I prefer some dark reddish for the shadows, so that's why I prefer red for the shadows. So this is the split tone I use for this photo. This is a sample that we took to explain split tone for you guys today, and from next video we're going to talk about more techniques in the Lightroom. So stay tuned with the Trickz, subscribe my channel, like and share the video, and see ya in the next video.